Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. Joining me on this segment is Marcus Toler. He's the founder of Upside Down Inc. Marcus, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you for having me, Mark.
Marcus, tell us a little bit about Upside Down Inc. and the types of folks that you serve.
Yeah. So Upside Down Inc. Is a corporation. It's a parent company. I got an S corp, and it houses a couple different brands. I've got 4 or 5 in-house brands. We got Upside Down Entertainment's where it all started. So I'll kind of tell you the journey and how we got here. 2005, I was in my 20s, fresh out of high school, moved out to Virginia from North Carolina or from West Virginia, and I like to have a good time. I was a young dude, man. I like to go to the bar, I like to party, like to dance, and I noticed I was spending a lot of money doing that. And I was like, man, what if I got paid to party? And everybody thought I was crazy, right? They're like, Mark, that's crazy. It sounds cool, but it's crazy. And around that time, MySpace was really the only network. It was the only social network. It was the only source of connection outside of your AOL Messenger and your Yahoo Messenger and all that, which was cool. But MySpace really took us into that next level of, connecting with each other online. And I was seeing photographers, promoters, DJs, like this whole new thing opening up in my mind. And I was like, you know what? They're doing it locally where I'm at. I can do it, and I went out and I found some hole in the wall venue, like, you wouldn't want to go there. Back then I didn't care. I'd throw a party at McDonald's if there was free food. I didn't even care, right? So, I started doing that, but I quickly realized that being a promoter was not always cracked up to be, because when you show up and you throw a party and 5 people show up, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling at all, especially when the bar owner is like, hey, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not paying you. You got to pay yourself. And that's a great opportunity in sense. But when 5 people show up and you put in 2 weeks worth of work, 30 days worth of work promoting an event, and you walk out the door with $5,
ouch.
It's not fun, right? So that was heartbreaking. And from there, I really tapped into my music side. I've always loved music, hip hop, grew up on 90s hip hop, and DJ 360 was born. That was the persona for that. Me and one of my DJ buddies, that we were in the same space. We were doing the promoter, but we wanted to figure out an easier way to have more fun with it. And he was like, man, DJ 360, that's your DJ name, because you like everything. You go everywhere. Because I can do the redneck party, I can jump into the hip hop party, I can go wherever. So we transitioned from there. Now this is where it really gets crazy. The next year, around 2006, some college kids from Mary Washington University came to me. And I'm actually working on one of them on a nonprofit project now, 20 years later. It's crazy, full circle. So he's like, hey man, I heard you're a promoter. I'm like, whatever. He's like, we got a cool idea we want to bring to the bar scene. Now, granted, this time, let me set the tone for you. World Series of Poker was crazy. World Series of Poker was in every bar. We were playing poker every night of the week. But I remember being a young dude and I'm like, man, I sat here 3 hours with a bunch of old men and somebody beat me with a pair of 2s and I'm going home empty handed. And there's nothing going on, and I'm bored, but I did it all the time because it was something to do and it was a chance to win money, right? And this guy goes, hey, we want to bring beer pong to the bar. And I was like, embarrassed. I still didn't even know what beer pong was. Never heard of it, never looked at it. Being back then, I worked with emo bands, like hip hop. I didn't care. It was like, whatever, let's do something and see what happens. So I was like, hey man, let me go home and think about it a little bit. I downplayed it. I was like, I'll go home and think about it. I'll get back to you. Went home, typed in beer pong on Google, and my brain was like, oh my God, where have I been? This is a thing. I'm in my 20s and I'm not playing beer pong. Like, what's wrong with this? And so we did it, and they were in college about to graduate. I seen the business opportunity. I said, why don't we replace this poker boom with the beer pong boom? Now, granted, World Series of Beer Pong was 4 years in Vegas. They had just put foldable beer pong tables in Spencer's at the mall. They had just got on the ESPN. They started getting traction. I was like, dude, let's knock this poker thing out the window, replace it with beer pong, add a DJ, hype it up, and let's have fun. And that ended up being the best thing ever. But still, I'm not treating it like a business. Paid my bills all the way up till COVID. I was running a beer pong company. 5 years ago, I got my daughter full time. Woke up with a hangover. She's like, "Hey, Dad, take me to school." And I'm going, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work no more. What are we doing here? What's gonna happen?" And my mentors were like, "Mark, it's easy, man. Just hire some bedroom DJs and get them in there and teach them. It's not hard. You're gonna make less money, but you're gonna have to just up it. Now you're setting a home managing it." So we did. So that's kind of my journey leading up to here. Now COVID comes. Those 5 years ago, I started shifting the 360 marketing. I took that 360 approach. And somewhere down the line, somebody pitched me on weddings. They were like, "Mark, you should do weddings. You're hype, man. You're full of energy." I'm like, "Man, I don't like weddings. That's boring, right?" And she's like, "Well, how much you make at a bar pong gig, right? Your beer pong event?" I was like, "I don't know, a couple $100." She said, "Well, what if I told you weddings start out at 1,000?" I said, "Now you got my attention. I guess I'm a wedding DJ now." And back then, this is where the marketing part gets so important. She goes, "Well, look, Mark, I love your brands." I said, "But I would never refer a bride to Upside Down Entertainment. Looks like a frat party over there." And I was like, "But we want fun weddings." She said, "Yeah, but I wouldn't trust you with my wedding if I booked you from there." I said, "Well, what do I do, Diddy?" She was like this huge wedding networking chick. She had a huge network of wedding people. So I trust her, and she's like, "Look, I don't know what you call it, but you need a wedding company." She's like, "I hate to say it. I know you got 4 or 5 brands already." And I was like, "Man, I don't want to manage another brand, And she's like, "If you want to get into wedding space and make big money, you're going to have to." So I was like, "All right." Went back to the drawing board and I said, "You know what? Big Day Productions, your big day done your way." Boom, launched it, right? And I tell my interns that I got, I said, "Look, I still didn't want to do their parents' weddings. I didn't want to do your mom's 3rd wedding. It's going to be boring. It's going to be depressing. I don't want to do it." So Dee was like, "Look, Mark, brand for what you want." And that was my first taste of customer avatar, right? It's like brand for the customer you want. And now it all makes sense. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not trying to attract the older crowd. I want the young. Let's rock Britney Spears. Let's go old school. Let's go throwback. Let's do the walk it out. Let's remix it. And that's what I did. So now fast forward 360 marketing. I didn't want to be the website guy. I didn't want to be the logo designer. I didn't want to be the boring marketing guy that tries to sell you first page of Google for $10,000. I wanted to be that fun guy that's bringing you automated systems, chatbots, funnels, all these things. We got here through a funnel, right? We got here through a funnel, and it's automated and it's great. You show up for the call. That's it, right?
Yep.
I've seen it. You're on Go High Level too. You're on the same system I am. And I was like, this is awesome. But you know what I'm learning? People don't care what it looks like. They just care about the outcome, right? So now I'm pushing local marketing is my niche because I've got that soft space for local marketing. Like you, I see your shirt. You got the local business rescue team, right? That's the space I like being in. But we know that's a hard space to be in because these small business owners don't get it. They want to make the money, but they don't understand the processes to get them to where they want to go. And it's our job to educate and get them there. So now I'm blending. Look, I'll show you. I'm about to roll out a new local mailer promotion. This is your value pack, your clipper, but guess what? You're not throwing this away. It's a 1-sheeter, right? So when I pitched that to the local business owners with my local business, rescue team approach, now everybody's unthreatened. It's not Mark selling you, it's Mark trying to help you, right? So now it's like, I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. I'm loving it. But yeah, so that's my story in a nutshell, the quick version.
That's a fun, engaging, exciting story. I really like that. I can relate to it because many moons ago, I started in the nightclubs as well. And I was entertaining at bar and bat mitzvahs and weddings similarly. And we caught the similar bug to the marketing of the stuff. And it's still, so I can completely relate to that. Tell us now that you're at 360 marketing and you're helping these local businesses, what do you find is there, as you said, they don't quite get it. They don't know the process. Yeah. What is it that's on their mind that you've found from talking to so many business owners? What's the stumbling block? What's that block that keeps them from taking action?
Yeah, that bottleneck is they I mean, you got to think about our parents and our grandparents, right? They're not scanning QR codes. They're not doing all that. COVID hit though. COVID opened the door, right? And it opened everybody's mind.
Taught everybody how to use a QR code if they wanted to
Right
eat.
now, yeah, if you want to eat, you're going to scan a QR code. It's just how it is. You walk into TGIF Fridays, the waitress sets you down. There's a QR code on your table. Scan it or don't eat. You know what I mean? And I love it. I love it.
I liked it because I remember a few
I
years
remember
ago,
5
people were
years
trying
ago.
to get people on QR codes and everybody's nah.
But now it's like, it's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. So, you know, it's funny, over COVID, you know, I picked up a millionaire business coach. His name's Mike Barron. He's a 2 Comma Club, you know, the ClickFunnels guy. He worked for Grant Cardone. You know, he's the ultimate sales guy. I hate sales, right? I hate sales. So when I took Hometown FXBG approach, which is a local community resource, now it's not threatening. I'm not a sales guy no more. I'm here to help, you know, and that was the biggest change for me, was changing the tone and changing the look. And now I'm here to help you and support you versus, hey, it's Mark from 360 Marketing. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm not interested, dude. Got to go. But if I call you and I go, hey, Mark, it's Mark from Hometown FXBG, your local community resource. We're here to help you. What's going on?
Yeah, tell me more about that. What is that approach like? Give us a look at that, Marcus. When you approach somebody now, and what's that little change that you've made that now you're there to help as opposed to sell you something?
Well, that little approach is we branded it. So we got the website, we got the social media. We're running chatbot giveaways to build a list. We're running pretty much an online newspaper in a sense. You know, we all see it, those corporate online media sources and stuff. You know, I'm not trying to go full blown with it. It's a foot in the door for me to open their mind up. But at the same time, I don't have to say 360 marketing ever again with that approach. I can always go in as the local community person. And we can brand that across the nation. I've seen a case study in North Carolina in one of my marketing groups. Dude did that. A media company swooped in, bought him out for $5 million and still kept him around to help build the project.
So Hometown Effects is sort of a community web.
Well, it's Hometown FXBG. FXBG is the abbreviation for Fredericksburg, Virginia, where we're at.
Got it.
So we know people like local, right? So when you brand something to a whole state, it's not local anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not local anymore.
So that's a community resources website that people can go and learn about the town.
Yeah, we're going to list. So our goal over there is we only want to work with 4-star and above. If you're not 4-star or above, I don't really think you're going to be a good fit to work on marketing and stuff anyway, because that shows me you're not passionate about your business if you've let your business fall to 3 stars. You know, and then the key is, the foot in the door is, hey, I'm giving you a free listing on our local source, you know, of quality business owners. It's a free listing, premium features. But we're also offering them the coupon mailer. It's not really a coupon mailer. It's more of a postcard mailer, kind of like your value pack, your clipper that we get in the mail. But I've got 2 or 3 of those laying around as the marketer because I keep them to look and see who's doing advertising. But I stopped opening those things. You know what I mean? So I'll go clean my house and I'm like, man, let me throw this away. I don't even care who's in that envelope. So that was the thing that I came across with one of my mentor companies, Offline Sharks. They run a marketing and they cater to marketing agencies that want to do local marketing, right? So I came across a course for this mailer and I was like, this is perfect. 10,000 houses. We're going to hit them by postcard, by income. It's a no-brainer. And I call Value Pack and I'm like, hey, how much does it cost to do advertisement? I was going to do my wedding company. And they're like, it's $500 and we're going to throw you in the envelope. And I'm like, yeah, it's not really attractive. But if they would have told me 500 and I got a 1-piece card that I know you will see me, now I'm interested.
Is it what does something like that cost for a small local business to get on a card so they've got visibility?
So I mean, you know, we're starting a price point kind of low. I'll sacrifice profits to get the ball rolling and really get that effect. So we're starting out around $500, but we're also tying a digital directory of where you scan the QR code and it'll take you to the digital offers directory and you got to opt in with your phone number and your email. So now I've found a way to take the old school model and still put today's digital side to it. So, because that's what I really am passionate about, is getting people up to speed on where we are in the digital world. You know it. It's like, how do these people not know these things, right? Is what we're thinking. It's like, how do you not know about QR codes? How do you not know about chat bots and funnels? And I've talked to 300 college students. I'm gonna tell you, I'm building an army of interns, right? Because the virtual assistant approach, no offense to the people in the Philippines and all that, but there's just huge disconnect. And I was like, you know what? I would rather work with college students and give them a real world experience than work with people that I'm just going to struggle communicating with. So that's what I did. I've interviewed 300 college students since October, and the number one thing that they all said was, we need real world experience. I was like, I got it for you. So it's a massive thing going on, man. I barely sleep. I'm hyped up on just dreams and ambition today, every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's terrific. That's an awesome story, and I like what you're doing for the community. I totally can relate because, and as you mentioned, how come people don't know this stuff? Well, I have to remind myself that it is like a full-time job to keep up with the new technology and all that stuff, and that's why they rely on folks like you to keep up on that for them.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, Marcus, for folks listening right now that perhaps they have a local small business that could use your help, and especially if they're in Fredericksburg by you, that might want to get on a mailer or get some digital marketing help from you, how do they find you online and connect with you?
So yeah, as far as the local thing goes, we're making that more of a, my goal is to go massive. I always go massive with everything, right? So we've got that hometownfxbg.com for anybody that just happens. Hopefully your reach is great and some people in the area stumble across this recording, you know what I mean? And that'd be awesome.
Well,
But
you'll certainly have it too when
yeah,
this
I'm
gets
going to share
published, so
it.
you'll
Yeah,
be able to share
exactly.
it locally.
So essentially, you can find me at 360marketingonline.com, right? So that's the parent marketing company. You can also find me at marcustoler.info. That's my personal, portfolio page. And then, social media. I'm a social media nerd. So I'm all over social media, 360 Marketing Online. There is a much bigger 360 marketing company. So you'll stumble across them if you don't look close enough. My interns do it all the time. But we want to offer this community resource on a bigger national level. So the plan is we're testing it now in Virginia. I'm doing multiple areas. So we're also, where I'm at in Fredericksburg, it's kind of small. So we didn't want to niche down and go just restaurants because I love restaurant marketing. That's my passion. I've got the online ordering. I got all that stuff for them. So we're also going to do what we call an Eats page. So we're doing Richmond and Northern Virginia, which is the Beltway. The DMV is what we call it here in Virginia. It's the DMV. Now we're tapping into DC, Northern Virginia, Richmond. So, I'm definitely going to be out there, out and about in a bigger scale. But yeah, anybody that wants to connect, we can start something in your city too. You know what I mean? I'm all about it. The goal is to spread this hometown feel across the nation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is terrific, Marcus, and I bet a lot of people listening right now just got some light bulbs popping up over their heads, and
I hope so.
we'll be reaching out to you, Marcus. I appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience. Very fascinating journey that you've been on. I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Hey, thank you. Hey, real quick on the outreach, they can just reach me at mark@360marketingonline.com. That's my email. It's going to be the super easiest way to get through to me.
That's terrific. Thanks again. I really appreciate you doing the spotlight with me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I look forward to watching it and seeing the feedback and connecting with anybody that wants to connect.
Marcus Toler, everybody, from Rockstar Life to Business and 360 Marketing Online. This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for tuning in.